Welcome back to the Rodecast, guys. Hope y'all doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be looking at CBS News trying to garner sympathy for Venezuelans who are going to be kicked off of temporary protected status that they have had under the Biden administration. As I've told you before, basically every single TPS group has been denied by the Supreme Court. When the Trump administration came into office, they immediately moved to get rid of this TPS nonsense, which basically legalized a bunch of illegals who broke into this country. That's what it actually did. They didn't vet any of these people. We have no idea of the more than 1 million people, I think 2 million altogether, that have come in under this temporary protected status nonsense, which was not invented by Biden, but he used it during his administration. It was made up a long time ago. It is a made-up concept, and Trump moved to basically deny this status to all these people, and the Supreme Court ruled with him. Now we got CBS News trying to make people feel bad for these people. I don't know what the goal is because the courts have already denied this, so this is just a segment trying to get Americans to be on these people's sides, to feel sorry for them. But yeah, it's not working with me, but let's see what they have to say.
Well, tonight the clock is set to run out for 250,000 Venezuelans in the United States who have temporary protected status. Now, this federal program allows migrants from unstable countries to live and work legally in the United States, but those protections will become a thing of the past. They will disappear just before midnight. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor spoke to a woman who says she is worried about her future.
So when he said live and work in America, that's 250,000 jobs that have been taken away from Americans and given to these people, assuming that they all work, which they don't. But, you know, a lot of them do work and they have taken our jobs. And that's 250,000 homes, what places that they live, that Americans should be living in, that have been taken away from us. Okay, that's what that 250,000 means. CBS News is never going to mention that because CBS News cares more about illegals and foreigners than they care about Americans. So they're never going to mention the impact of immigration or even illegal immigration on Americans. Okay, all the resources we lose out on, they never mention that part. But that's why I'm here.
These 260,000 Venezuelans will lose their status, their work permit, and their driver's license. And for the first
Good. What's your problem with that, Yvonne?
time while putting together this story, people that I'd reach out to for an interview did not respond. And 2 of them told me, I can't talk.
My family and myself, we are desperate because this happened so fast.
This Venezuelan woman with TPS, and who we will call Maria, spoke to us.
These people have been living here for either 2 years or 3 years, depending on when they came in, either 2022 or 2023, whatever. Whenever they came here, first they broke in here illegally, most of them, and then they were retroactively granted this TPS BS, okay, through that app. So that's how this worked, okay? So they're all illegals as far as I'm concerned, as far as the law is concerned, okay? Because they came here, but they didn't come here legally at all. There was no vetting done on them in their own country. Okay, that's how vetting is usually done before they come here, so we know that they're not criminals. But nothing was done. They broke in here and they were retroactively granted. Now she's like, oh, it happened so fast. You've been here for 2 to 3 years, depending on when you came in, and it's still not enough. Nothing is enough for them. They want to stay forever. Like I said, it's temporary. They don't understand the word temporary. Again, just like with the Asians, I covered another video like 3-4 months ago or 5 months ago, whatever, of a whole bunch of Asians whining about TPS expiring for them as well. Okay, hilarious.
And returning would not have been safe. TPS allowed me to work, support my family, and live here without fear. Now, nearly 20 years later, this country is my home.
No, it is not your home. Okay, your home is Nepal. And those people have been here for like 20 years, and they're still whining about how it's not enough. We have to let them stay forever. That's what happens. All these immigrants, legal or illegal, they just want to break in here and stay forever and use up our resources.
Anonymity.
I feel persecuted. I am shocked. I don't know how my next week will be.
She is one of 2.
Did you hear that? She just said she feels persecuted. This bee has no right whatsoever to be in America. Okay. But she feels so entitled that she's saying the American government is persecuting her after we let her undeserving ass stay here for 2 to 3 years. Okay, it's still not enough. Now she's claiming that we are persecuting her. And I guess we are in a way. You're a foreigner and I don't want you here. Okay, if you want to take that as persecution, go ahead, but you got to have to get your ass out of here. And if you don't, then ICE is going to drag you out. So all these people automatically become illegals after TPS expires, which means they're deportable. Okay, as far as the immigration law goes, they're deportable, which means if they don't leave by themselves, then ICE and Homeland Security has the legal authority to automatically drag them out of here.
Condition of anonymity.
I feel persecuted. I am shocked. I don't know how my next week will be.
She is one of 260,000 Venezuelans who live and work in the United States as beneficiaries of temporary protected status. But Friday before midnight, they will become undocumented immigrants.
Scared because I see in the news that ICE will take you.
On October 3rd, the Supreme Court sided with the federal government and ruled that 350,000 Venezuelans should lose their deportation protection. The decision will now affect another 260,000 whose TPS expires November 7th. Maria and thousands like her do not have any other legal protection in the U.S.
They now have to apply for asylum.
Willie Allen has been an immigration attorney in South Florida for...
Good luck with that, because 9 out of 10 asylum cases are denied. And most of these people, they broke in here as economic migrants, which means they have no recourse under asylum claims. Okay, unless they lie to the judge, which opens up other problems, which will make them criminals, literally, by falsifying evidence to the court. But some of them do that. A lot of people do that. They lie on their applications to try to stay here. So yeah, so it's 260,000 plus 300,000. That's more than 500,000 illegals, in my opinion, that have basically been declared illegal by the courts officially. So they all have to leave, and all of them are deportable. As soon as the Supreme Court ruled against them, it's all over.
They now have to apply for asylum.
Willie Allen has been an immigration attorney in South Florida for over 40 years. He told me political asylum is still a valid option.
Their year begins to run out now that the TPS is expired. I think it's an argument that would have some validity.
President Joe Biden granted TPS to Venezuelans fleeing the political situation in their country in 2021 and 2023. A few days before the end of his term, Biden extended the status for 18 months until October 2026. But the Trump administration's Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem revoked it.
But now,
Go Kristi Noem. She is my hero.
everybody, the whole world knows about terrorism, about narco traffic in my country. So now I feel Venezuela is even worse than before the TPS.
And Maria has a hard time understanding that while the Trump administration says that Nicolás Maduro is a dictator that protects drug dealers, she and thousands like her will lose deportation protection in less than 48 hours.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's not our problem, okay? Even if everything that Trump is saying about Maduro is true, which I have varying degrees of agreement, and I'm not an expert on Venezuela, so I'm not going to comment on that. War powers are under the executive branch, so we're going to have to trust the president to do what he's going to do. That's just how it is. The courts have no power over that, and he's the one who has war power. So no point in worrying about things you can't fix. But getting back to this thing, even if everything that people say about Venezuela being unstable is true, that is still not a legal reason to grant asylum. Here, let me explain how it works. Every single one of these people have to prove that they personally, not overall generally, but personally will be have their life put in threat if they go back. Okay, good luck proving that. You would have specific evidence of threats to your life or your family in Venezuela. How are you going to prove that when most of these people came here for purely economic reasons and they know it, even though they'll lie and say that their lives are in danger? And here's a big problem for you. There are many other stable countries between here and Venezuela that you could have gone to. However, you did it through ship or by plane or whatever you used. How did you get to America, and why did you get to America when you could have gone to any other country if your life was so in danger? Okay, that's what they're gonna have. And there are many safe parts of Venezuela as well. Okay, but even if Venezuela is not safe, why didn't you go to a country around in South America or Central America before you came here? There are many other countries you could have gone to. Okay, these are questions that are asked by immigration judges, and when these people can't answer it because they don't have any answers, because they know they're economic migrants and they're lying about their lives being in danger in their own country, they lose their case because they don't have any answers. Okay, so that's what happens. That's why most of the asylum cases are denied, because most of these people are just economic migrants or liars who are pretending that their lives are in danger. So most of these people are gone. Maybe a couple of cases of asylum might be granted by the courts. That happens sometimes because because the courts accept the arguments made by the lawyers for these people that their lives are actually in danger if they can prove specific instances of their lives being threatened. That's the only way that asylum is granted. Okay, not on a general basis of saying, oh my God, my country's unstable. Literally everybody in the world can claim that. Every country has periods of instability. So literally everybody will be able to come to America if that was the standard. No, when it comes to the law, you have to prove specific harm. And these people can't prove that. Okay, so Maria is going back to her own country. So yeah, the TPS stuff, it's all over. Okay, Biden started it or continued it from other presidents, and Trump has ended it for a whole bunch of, literally over 1 million people at least have had TPS ended. Okay, not just Venezuelans, but Cubans and El Salvadorians and many other people, and some Asians as well, as I mentioned before. But that's all I got to say for this video. This is all awesome news, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Stay safe out there.